Hello again, all of my star pupils. So this is the second part of the witch series video that I was going to be posting and showing to all of you. This is an actual art project that you can complete at home. As we talked about in the previous video, and I hope that you guys do see part one, see it, I will link it down below. And as always, please like or subscribe to this video. I did want to mention that this is a very simple, easy project. We talked in my last video about Hocus Pocus, so we're going to stick with that theme, obviously with the witches and everything else like that. But for this project, I did want to let you guys know you can use any type of medium. If you want to use this for painting jack-o'-lantern faces, if you want to use the medium for any type of glitter glue, anything like that, you definitely can. It doesn't have to be with the witch theme. It can be any type of theme. And you can also use any type of artistry that you want, aka you can use sticky glue, you can use stickers, you can use whatever you'd like. I try to make these projects simple because I know that it's not accessible for everybody to get things readily. So, I mean, especially in this time period. So I'm just making these projects very, very simple. So what we're going to start with today is we are going to be actually using a craft size pumpkin. And you can buy this at any type of craft store, hobby store, convenience stores. They have them all over the place. Make sure that they do have a flat bottom, you guys. And again, you will be using this for the video today. So just, you know, again, a simple craft pumpkin. So going with the Hocus Pocus theme, what I did was I printed out some random pictures that we're going to actually be cutting out. And there's going to be a reason for this. So I obviously have the cat Binks here. I'm going to use some of this picture. I'm not going to use all of it. But again, you can print out whatever you like, you guys. It doesn't have to stick to this theme, but we're going to do this theme for just the purpose of the video. So I printed out a few things. The other great thing about this is that we are going to be using Modge Podge. So Modge Podge, it's not affiliated with this video or anything, but Modge Podge is great because this is a matte glue sealer. It helps to really keep anything that you need to stay on your pumpkin. So definitely get some Modge Podge. They have a ton of this stuff, you guys, at any type of craft store. And you can also use any type of glitter Modge Podge paint. You can use Elmer's glue. Although for this, because we're going to be actually putting pictures on this pumpkin, I would just stick with the Modge Podge because it's the easiest. You're going to need some scissors or some craft scissors to cut out your pictures, or if you wanted to use stickers instead. Again, if you have kids who can't use, you know, Modge Podge, or you just don't feel comfortable with that, definitely get either some stickers. This is a really easy craft project, you guys, to do. I also did pick up at the craft store some Modge Podge little applicators because these are easier to use than a paintbrush. If you get Modge Podge on a paintbrush, it's going to stick to it. The bristles will stick together and it won't be able to be as clean as you want. And Modge Podge does take some time to like curate and things like that. So I'm just telling you guys, it's something to definitely, you know, think about if that's something that you want to do. So for what we're going to do right now, I also did want to make this disclaimer with the Modge Podge. Make sure, and I can't stress this enough, that you have some type of protective either paper towel. I like to use a type of matte paper towel because again, this stuff can get everywhere, you guys, and you don't want it to get on your works of art, your craft projects, anything like that. And always make sure, you guys, to wash your hands after using Modge Podge. It is very, very sticky. So I'm going to actually just run really quick and wash my hands, and then we will get right into the video. It's also good too, I did want to mention, you guys, to definitely have a wet paper towel that's close to you or near you. The reasoning is because you might get some of the Modge Podge on your hands, so you want to make sure that you can clean it. readily. That's what's great about Modge Podge. It does clean up very well, but once it dries very hard. So we're gonna start by cutting out some of our pictures, and I stuck with the Hocus Pocus theme. You can use any pictures you want. Like I said, you guys, you can use stickers, you can use any type of situation you would like. And again, this is you can use magazines for this. You know, you can use any type of scrapbooking things for this. You know, you don't have to specifically use just what this video entails. I'm just cutting some of this out because, again, I don't need all of this on my actual piece of artwork here. And the other thing is too, is I'm probably, you guys, gonna definitely be getting a little bit more pictures on here. The thing with Modge Podge is it takes such a long time to curate. So for me personally, I'm probably just gonna get some more pictures or actually print some more pictures online so I can continue to build upon my pumpkin. I'm just doing this for the sake of time. So we're gonna print out, you know, and again, this will stay on the pumpkin, but I did want to make you guys aware that because this is so of a slender type of surface and there are these ridges, it will not be 100% perfect because it's a pumpkin. If you were doing it to another flat surface, it would probably work or look a little bit better, but this is a pumpkin, it's Halloween, it doesn't need to be perfect. So I'm gonna continue to cut these out. And then I'm gonna just show you guys, for the sake of the video also too, how to apply the Modge Podge, because the thing is the Modge Podge has to set. You can't just glue the pictures on there at any type of time. You have to basically let it set for about 20 to 30 minutes. So I will show you that too. Try to cut around also too. Don't cut in just a straight line here because it won't fit on the pumpkin exactly. So I'm just trying to cut this a little bit in like a circular type of way. Okay. And again, like I said, you guys, you can use stickers, you can use different types of mediums, you can even paint your own pumpkin. You guys, I was not about ready to paint my own pumpkin. That much I could tell you. I am not an artist by any means, so I was just going to stick with the Modge Podge and use it for my pumpkin. So now that we have the items cut out, I'm gonna start with the first picture that we have here. I'm going to lay out some of the scrap paper just for added protection. And I'm gonna move the Modge Podge closer to me because you guys do not want this dripping anywhere on your table. Because like I said, it will definitely make a mess of your table and it'll be very hard for you to clean it up. So you're gonna use, okay. So let's talk about the brushes. For any type of bigger projects, you're gonna wanna use the bigger, flatter sized brush. It does come at an angle. The reason for this is because it can actually get into each of the surfaces and apply an even coat. The smaller tools for the Modge Podge you can use to make for smaller pictures, smaller accents, that type of thing. But the bigger one's probably what we're gonna stick with for using because it's gonna cover a lot of area, whereas the littler one is probably for smaller pictures. So I'm gonna start by looking at my pumpkin, seeing where the side that I want to place this picture on, where do I wanna cover stuff. So I'm gonna use the face of this pumpkin to kind of put this picture in the middle here so that it covers the pumpkin. Now, for the sake of time, I'm only gonna show you guys how to apply 2 pictures, but again, you can go back and apply more pictures, stickers, anything you'd like to your pumpkin. So I'm gonna take the pumpkin, make sure that the surface is cleaned, that it doesn't have anything on the surface, because here's the thing, if it has anything on the surface, you guys, the Mod Podge will not adhere to the pumpkin. And make sure to get your pictures out of the way so that you won't have any type of problems. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit of glue to the surface area. The only reason why I'm doing this also too is because I want an even stick, and this pumpkin is extremely slick. So we want to just add that to the surface area like so. And I'm going to show you guys right here what I'm doing so you can move it. And again, you're going to want to make sure that you add enough, but don't add so much to the point where your whole sponge becomes completely saturated. So we're gonna move there. I am actually also wearing an apron, you guys. I think that is the smartest thing that you can do, is wearing an apron. The only reason I say that is because, again, you don't want any of this on your clothing, and you don't want any of this to get on your table, because this is hard tack glue, like hard tack glue. Okay. And again, just be patient with it. It is going to be a little bit tedious only because this is a pumpkin. It's not anything that is a great shape to be using, but you will be able to get that glue securely on there and then have your pictures get on there. If you also come across any type of Halloween stickers or anything like that, or if you want to freehand draw your pumpkin, you can definitely do that too. But for the sake of this, I am just going to use the Modge Podge and use my fingers to kind of solidify it. Okay. You're going to take the edge of this. The reason why I'm going to do this is because this is going to flatten out your picture a little bit. So now that we have it to this point where you have the picture securely on there, placed on there, you're going to take the Modge Podge and you're going to go over the picture. I know this kind of looks a little silly and you guys are going to be like, why are we going over the picture? Well, the reasoning is because the Modge Podge is going to cover and make the picture stick down and really kind of solidify that for you. And you guys, this is going to take a few coats. This is not a situation where it's just going to automatically be stuck on there. Like that's not how Modge Podge works, unfortunately, but it does a lot of great things for your projects. I did want to also mention, you guys, that Modge Podge does clearly dry as well. So you won't need to worry. It's going to look white right now, but that's only because of us trying to glue this down. It will not look this way once you get a few coats on there. It'll actually go clear. Okay. So now that we've started this, and again, for the sake of time, I'm going to just show you guys, because I'm not even going to dare start the other side until I can get this completely covered. And again, your picture may curl up a little bit. The only reason is because this is a pumpkin, you guys, this is not a flat surface. You are more than welcome to use a flat surface if you feel like that would be easier to use. But this is a craft pumpkin and I'm just gonna use it. The other great thing about this too is you can easily use some craft tweezers. I do not have any of those right now, but you can use some to flatten out the picture. But make sure when you're using the craft tweezers, don't flatten it out so much because you might rip the actual picture. Okay, so now that I have an even coating of this whole Modge Podge that's over here on my pumpkin, what I'm going to do is I am going to make sure that it's even, because again, like I said, when this turns to dry, it's going to dry relatively clear. And it takes about 20 to 30 minutes for the first coat to dry. I'm gonna cap up the Modge Podge pretty tight, you guys. So to start with, this is what it's going to look like. Now, it looks like a mess right now, but I promise you, this is going to dry very clear. So we can have the picture still on there, but you wanna make sure that it is completely glued down, and then we're gonna do a couple of other coats on it, because it's gonna dry in a matte type of finish. So it's gonna be a matte, like completely clear. Leave this for about 20 to 30 minutes before we start the other side of it. So I'm going to actually come back in a little bit and actually show you guys how to do the second coat. But this is pretty self-explanatory. You just constantly keep doing the coats until you get a finished project or a finished situation. Now, the other thing I did want to mention is that this Modge Podge that I bought is a water-based sealer, glue, and finish all in one. So you shouldn't need to have like an acrylic sealer if you want. And the cure time for I've used Modge Podge in the past, and usually it doesn't take 4 weeks. In my opinion, I mean, again, you can do the multiple coats. It will dry to the point where your picture is not going to be coming off of this thing. So I probably would just give it, I mean, with this type of surface, I'd give it at least a few hours before you go placing it somewhere. And to make sure that it isn't tacky. But again, we're going to come back and revisit this when I come back to show you guys the second part of this video. And also too, like I said, you can also paint this pumpkin. You can use stickers. You can use whatever you'd like, but to complete the finished product, I'm gonna actually also print out some more pictures and things of that nature. I just wanted to show you guys the first and second coats of this, so I will see you all back very shortly to see if we can finish this one picture. And I also did want to mention to you guys too, if you can find any type of these type of applicators, you can wash these or you can toss them. It's completely up to you. You do not have to keep them if you don't want to. Again, the Modge Podge is a type of glue, so I would just be careful if you're using any type of paintbrushes. Definitely just use these applicators, but you can wash them with warm water and soap, and the glue should be able to come out. If it doesn't, then you can just toss these. These are relatively inexpensive. So I will see you guys back in a few minutes to complete the second part of the video, and I hope that at least this project has been fun for you, or you can definitely do this with your kids for the holidays if you want to do any type of pumpkin painting or anything like that. And I will see you all shortly. Bye. Okay, my star people, so we are back. It has been about 20 to 30 minutes since the last time that I spoke with you. So what is going on is you can still see that the picture is staying on the pumpkin, and you can see that all the places where we put the glue is drying. So the thing I'm going to mention is this. It takes about 24 to 48 hours for your project to be completely dry so that you can actually set it up wherever you'd like in your home, things like that, with the Modge Podge. If you are using acrylic paint, or if you are using anything like that type of medium, it's going to take a little bit more time for anything to dry on a craft pumpkin, especially acrylic paint. The other thing I did want to mention too is that with Modge Podge, make sure to get the kind that says water-based sealer, glue, and finish all in one, because you don't want to just get the water-based glue and not get the acrylic sealer, because that's what's going to make your project dry quicker and finish. And because we are using Modge Podge as the medium today with just some pictures that we printed out off of the internet, that would also be a smart thing to do, just to let it dry. Now, I did also want to mention about the Modge Podge, you guys. If you're thinking of using any type of wood, any type of like plastic or sealer or anything like that for this project, if you wanted to use like little wooden signs or like the little Scrabble tiles or anything like that, you're going to need to get the Modge Podge that is for furniture or that is a little bit more of an adhesive glue. For this purpose, I wouldn't use that on our craft pumpkin. It's just too difficult for it to dry. And because this is such a slick surface, you guys, that I would not suggest using that at all for this type of a project. Modge Podge is also readily available at any type of craft store or convenience store. Again, you can definitely visit their website. Modge Podge is not sponsoring this video in any type of way. I have just loved and used Modge Podge a ton for projects, for sealing puzzles that I have created, or using any type of art project. Again, Modge Podge does not sponsor this video, but I love their products. And this is a great type of glue to use, you guys, if you are looking to create those type of projects. So back to our Hocus. So you guys, what's great about this is I found some other pictures that I'm going to use to kind of cover the whole pumpkin. The other thing is that I'm going to show you guys in another video the finished product, what it exactly looks like and everything, and see how cool it is, and the display that I have for it. So I will be posting that video sometime next week, but for now I'm just going to basically show you how to complete your project and how to just keep going with your project. So the thing is that this has basically dried. So we're going to take the Modge Podge, you guys, and we're going to open it again. Use your small applicator for small pictures. Use the bigger applicator that I have here for bigger applications, for bigger pictures, if you want to cover more area. So now that this has dried, we're going to take just a little bit again. Careful not to take too much, you guys, because again, then that's really going to like kind of mess up your picture a little bit. And what is so great about Modge Podge, you know, all my star pupils, is that it literally covers so much. And what's also great is that it dries completely clear on your application. Now, I also looked up on break, if you do have the craft tweezers like I was talking about to get out those little imperfections in your pictures, definitely use those to kind of flatten your picture out. I mean, for this sake, I'm not going to be too worried about it, you guys, only because this is a craft project and this picture is going on a pumpkin. So I'm not going to be too concerned with it. I mean, it's just going to add to the look of it, to the realness of this pumpkin. Also, make sure, get into the crevices, you guys, with your little tool, with the tip of it. The reason is because if you don't go around the picture or get into the crevices, you're going to have all of those little gaps in the picture that you don't want, because you don't want this coming off years from now. You know what I mean? And the Modge Podge is so strong, you guys, that if you need to make a few more coats of this, you can easily do that. I mean, there's no reason why you can't cover this whole entire picture or the pumpkin. Okay, so now that my binks, and here's the other thing, you guys, do not feel threatened by it looking like this, because like I showed you guys before, this is going to completely dry clear, and you want to get the matte kind or the semi-gloss finish. So this is going to dry clear. I wouldn't worry too much about it, you guys. If it looks like this, you're completely fine. Your pumpkin's gonna be fine. You don't need to worry about it. Okay, so we're gonna leave this part be. It's gonna look like this. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the other side of my pumpkin, because I want to look at this pumpkin from the top here, you guys, and kind of go parallel to the pictures that you're putting. If you want to make it more even looking, you can do that. If you want to put the pictures wherever you want to put them, that's up to you. But for now, I'm going to look at my other picture and go over. And I'm going to use the bigger applicator for this bigger picture. The reason is this little applicator isn't really going to help me out so much with a bigger picture like this. So I'm going to take this, Gonna use my bigger applicator this time. Now here's the thing about this, you guys. I am dunking this applicator in here, and I am going to start smoothing the surface of my pumpkin. The reason being is, like I said before, you want to have a smooth surface so that your picture will stick to this, so just like I'm doing right here. You don't want to have a situation where you're trying to tape down the picture, the glue's not adhering. You don't want any of that because your picture is just going to slide all over the place. So get this all going good here. You know, my star pupils know what's going on. And here's the thing, you get a little Modge Podge on your hands, don't even worry about it. Use a wet paper towel, like I said, just have it near you. This is a crafting project. And you guys, get your kids involved in this. Like, seriously, listen, this is a Saturday. What is everybody doing? You know, like, get your kids involved in this. If you cannot readily find pumpkins out there, guys, or if you are not like a pumpkin person to have an actual live pumpkin, this works exceedingly well. And even if you wanted to, you can definitely use this to craft other projects. You know what I mean? It doesn't even need to be for this type of theme with Hocus Pocus like what we're doing. You know, do whatever you feel. Pick a different theme if you want to use it for, you know, maybe a vampire theme or maybe a werewolf theme, you know, anything like that. Maybe, you know, you like horror movies or something, or even for the kids, like you can do like cute little jack-o'-lantern faces on this. I mean, let's be honest, you guys, the possibilities are really endless. So this is going to be a little tricky, you guys, because I have a bigger picture, but not to worry. We're going to literally use the Modge Podge to go behind it. And again, like I said, this is a pumpkin. We're not going to get too concerned over it, that it's going to be looking a little bit lumpy and bumpy, because that's just what, you know, that's just what a pumpkin does, you guys. It looks lumpy and bumpy. So I'm going to take the edges and go around. And again, if you guys didn't want to use a huge picture like this, because it might be a little bit too difficult to kind of like spread it out or whatever, you guys can do whatever you want. I just wanted to do this because I love the saying on here and how cute it is. Oh yeah, we're gonna get this paper down here, you guys. Yeah, or here's the other thing I was thinking, you know, all my star pupils out there, if you want to do not even like maybe necessarily a Halloween theme, but doing like a fall theme, I would strongly suggest going out in your backyard, grabbing some leaves, okay, washing them, and then what you can do is you can easily, you guys, easily use the leaves once you clean them, you know, and you can definitely make an all-natural pumpkin with, you know, you can actually use this Modge Podge, you guys, to actually put the leaves onto your pumpkin. So that's kind of a smart little trick there to, like, if you're wanting to use an all-natural, you know, situation. That would also be good too. So here's the thing, you guys, and I'm also working with this too, this Modge Podge. If you get some on your hands, don't worry about it. Use it to kind of like spread your picture out, or to kind of like get it even in there. Even if you got to use your hands to kind of do this whole thing, that's fine. No biggie here. And the thing is that, again, you guys, like this is a decorative pumpkin. It's not going to be perfect. So if you guys are all like, listen, this needs to be some Instagram worthy stuff, like, look, you can definitely have it be Instagram worthy, but know that we're working with a type of glue here, and that we're also working with a flatter surface. So I'm gonna just like kind of get that all over in there. Yeah. And that's the thing, you guys, if you can't have fun with craft projects, what's the point of doing them? You know what I mean? Like, they take time. So here's the other thing I wanted to point out. If you guys are having the dripping of the Modge Podge, very simple, taking a clean paper towel and just kind of getting that all down in there and just wiping it is the simplest way to go about it. You don't even need to put a ton in there. Okay. Oh no. Okay. So there we go. And we're just gonna let this sit here for a little bit, you guys. Let it just sit there and dry for the 20 or 30 minutes. And then we're gonna come back and do it again pretty much. But again, you know, use a clean paper towel or use a clean napkin to clean the glue off of your hands. Also too, make sure that when you are using this pumpkin that it is not going to be setting down on something that is sticky. Like this has like some Modge Podge glue going on over here. That's not what I want. So I'm gonna like start to wipe some of this back a little bit, only so that my pumpkin isn't sticking to a surface, because you guys do not want that, especially with pictures. It will come off. If you're using a type of acrylic paint, wait until the acrylic paint dries before you use the Modge Podge over it. So I'm just gonna set that there for now. Also too, you guys, I did want to mention this. If you do have it stick to a paper or your picture sticks to something, don't panic, because you can easily use some acrylic paint to just paint in that little imperfection, or you can use a Sharpie marker to kind of just color in that imperfection. And with a pumpkin, you're not really going to notice that much, or if your pumpkin becomes dented or damaged or anything like that, it's going to all be good. So don't worry about that. Now, again, you guys, I'm going to come back for the second part of this just to show you what it's going to look like, and then we can do the second coat. And then we will be completed with the project. I will definitely show you guys sometime this week. I'll post it on my Instagram as well, what we actually completed with this project. And again, I will see you soon. Hello again and welcome back. So I just waited about a few hours for this to dry, only because it was a bigger picture that I actually put on the pumpkin. So I wanted to make sure to like make it like wait a little bit longer than normal, because you can still see that the glue is still on there and it is drying. So I'm going to paint over, just to show you, I'll paint over this again just to make it look a little bit better. And then again, I'm going to be posting another video for the final of what it's going to look like. So I'm going to take this, and keep in mind, again, we're using the Modge Podge again. So I'm going to get rid of that. So we're going to take the same applicator that we used previously, and this time we are just going to do another coat again. And you guys, again, I can understand that this can be a tedious process, but we do this so that we can at least cover everything, and everything will stay, again, on our pumpkins as we need it to stay on there. And again, sometimes like you will get the flaps that'll stand up a little bit more. It might be a little bit more wrinkled, but that's okay. I mean, it's the effect of what the pumpkin gives it for that. And again, this does dry over the course of a few hours, so you can do multiple coats, but it's just gonna dry within the few hours that you kind of do this. And again, you guys, if you were using a flatter surface, that would probably be easier. But again, because this is a pumpkin, we're just gonna kind of put the Modge Podge around and over. And of course, you can do this multiple times. I'm only gonna do this the two times, only because once it sticks on here, it's pretty much gonna stay on here regardless, so you won't need to remove it or anything. Okay. So it's looking like this is pretty much like taken care of as far as putting it down a little bit. I'm gonna use a little bit more of the Modge Podge to make that work, you guys. And again, this is just about timing, taking the time to just like keep panning over the picture here. So I'm gonna set that down. And then you can see again that it's completely covered. I did want to show you guys on this side, like see part of the paint kind of settled in there and it dried. So what I'm going to do is I will take a Sharpie marker, a black Sharpie marker, and kind of paint over it. But it's pretty much stuck on there. Like there's nothing that's clear. The picture's stuck on there. It is a little bit wrinkly, but again, because of the way that the pumpkin is, you guys, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Because it's going to be wrinkly. I mean, this is again a decoupage kind of like project, so it's not going to be perfect. But I will definitely take some Sharpie marker to that, and then I will finish this and show you guys in another video. I hope that you all can show me your finished projects. Again, please link down below, comment down below if you have any different types of projects that you're doing with the same thing. Comment, like, and subscribe to the videos. I did just want to let you guys know that I'm probably going to be uploading this video in 2 segments because it makes it easier. We've had the dry time and things with the Modge Podge and everything. And also too, for the second part of our Halloween series, we also talked about the history of witches, so I will link that down below again, you guys, if you need to go and visit that video. And for next week, I will be posting a part 1. Next week, you guys, we are going to be talking all about the history of vampires, doing all of that the next week. And then I'll be obviously continuing with the Halloween theme this whole entire month, so check out for that. But again, you know, like, subscribe, tell me more about your projects, and give this at least, if you're going to be doing multiple things with the Modge Podge, you guys, at least give it 24 to 48 hours to completely harden and dry before you do set it up in your house. But other than that, it was great to see all of you and to obviously talk and continue with this project. And I'll talk to you all guys soon. Bye.